Shalom.
I know it's cute.
Today's topic is for Jerusalem is ruined and Judah is fallen. Just a picture of us southern tribe, brothers just wilding out there. Picture of the northern tribe worshiping false idols. So once again, the title of the lesson is for Jerusalem is ruined. Jerusalem being the Holy Land is ruined, and Judah is fallen, meaning the Israelites, the people is failed. So as y'all can see, as a state of our people, we in a pretty bad condition as a whole. Not all of us, not every single one of us, but as a whole, we're in a pretty bad condition. And we're going to read in the Bible how exactly it started going downhill. So I don't know about y'all. I've always had questions like, what happened? How did we get to this state? Like, as a people, how did our people get to the bottom of the totem pole, so to speak? So we're going to read in the Bible what caused our fall and basically how we repeating history all over again. So I'm going to start with the introduction. It says, Shalom, Israel, and thank you for gathering together to keep the Lord's Sabbath day and to study the Word of God. Today we will search the Scriptures to learn how the nation of Israel descended into our current state. The fall of a mighty nation was due to our disobedience and wickedness. We must rehearse the righteous acts to ascend back into a godly position as rulers of the world. May the Most High add a blessing to the reading of this holy word. So we're going to start with Deuteronomy 30, chapter 30, verse 10 through 20. Any questions, you guys feel free to ask. Deuteronomy chapter 30, 10 through 20. Deuteronomy is when we was heading into the promised land. So Deuteronomy chapter 10, it says, if thou shalt hearken, this is Moses talking to the Israelites, our forefathers, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which are written in the book of the law. Y'all know what the book of the law is? The Bible, the Torah, same thing, the first 5 books. It's where you read the commandments. So he said, if you keep these commandments and statutes that's written in the book of the law, and if thou not turn unto the Lord thy God, and if thou turn unto the Lord thy God with all thy heart and all thy soul, for this commandment which I command thee this day, it will not be hidden from thee, neither is it far off. So the rights and wrongs, the way to live, it ain't hidden from us. And it's not far off, meaning it's not some deep mystery. You don't have to go to no shaman or no high priest or nothing like that. It's all in this book that's been on all of our counters growing up, in all our churches, in every pew. Verse 12 going to pretty much say what I just said. It is not in heaven that thou shalt say, who shall go up for us to heaven and bring it into us, that we may hear it and do it. So you don't have to wait for Jesus to come down or God to come down and tell you right from wrong. He said it's in the book of the law. Verse 13. Neither is it beyond the sea that thou shalt say, who shall go over the sea? Who shall go over the sea for us and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it. But the word is very nigh unto thee, meaning it's near, it's right there, it's all in the Bible. And look how many Bibles they got printed out. It's in thy mouth and in thy heart, that thou may do it. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil. If you do what's right, you shall live. If you do the opposite of these commandments, evil gonna come upon you. Verse 16, in that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that thou may live and multiply. And the Lord thy God shall bless thee in the land whether thou goest to possess it. So
that was the rules, that was the law.
We were supposed to keep these commandments in this land, aka the Holy Land. We're going to find out why we're here on this side. We got kicked out of the land for not doing what thus say the Lord. Verse 17. But if thy heart, what is your heart? Do y'all remember?
Mind.
But if your mind turn away, so that thou will not hear, but shall be drawn away and worship other gods and serve them. 18 says, I denounce unto you this day, whether thou pass over Jordan to go to possess it. So if you say y'all go in this land and don't do what the book of the law say, he gonna draw y'all out of this land. He gonna denounce y'all, and we gonna see us going to slavery into this land, or having the enemies basically have us under their rulership. It's happened many a times in the Bible. Verse 19. He said, I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that thou and thy seed may live. Thy seed is your children, your offspring. So he's saying, I'm calling heaven and earth. That, yeah, the heavens is a witness against these do's and don'ts that I'm telling you to do, and this earth is a witness. So he say either you're going to do right and receive a blessing from God. If you do wrong, you're going to receive a curse from God. So he wants you to choose life, that thou and thy seed may live. Verse 20, that thou mayest love the Lord thy God, and thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him, for he is thy life, and the strength of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which God sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, and to give them. So that's why we don't have our own land to this day. The other nations got their own land. This land ain't really for the Mexicans and the Native Americans either. They just left their holy land earlier than us. So we're going to find out where our true home is, why we not there no more, and how we fell into this estate. So Judges chapter 2, verse 1 through 4. It says, God commanded us to be separate. Judges, we're going to read a lot about Judges, and we're going to find out this is basically the start of the fall of our people. Believe it or not, our people were some wicked people, man. It's the same. You can tell that's our people, man. They hard-headed. They don't want to do what's right. But they going to keep crying unto the Lord every time they're in trouble. So Judges chapter 2, 1 through 4. And the angel of the Lord came up from Gilgad to Bochim and said, I made you go up out of Egypt and brought you into a land which I swear unto your fathers. And I said, I will never break my covenant with you. And ye shall make no league with the inhabitants of this land. What does that sound like, y'all? God saying, the angel of the Lord saying, you shall make no league with the inhabitants of this land. Exactly. We going into a land, it's going to be some people already in this land. Don't you make no league with these people in this land. We're going to click on league. A confederacy. Meaning don't join them. Don't intermingle with them. And he's going to tell you why. It says, ye shall throw down their altars. What is an altar? That's a place of, that's a instrument of sacrifice unto a god. So when you go in this land, they're gonna have their own gods, and you're gonna see altars in that land where they worship their god, sacrifice for their god. He said, "You shall throw down their altars," meaning break that stuff. But ye have not obeyed my voice. Why have you done this? So one of the first problems we got in that land, he told us to break out. Don't be hanging with them. Break down their altars. They didn't break down their altars. So the angel of the Lord asked them, why did you do this? Why aren't you obeying my voice? I said putting life and death in front of you. Why are you choosing death? Verse 3. Wherefore I said, I will not drive them out before you. Who are the them? I will not drive them out before you. Right. If we would have did what the Lord said, the Lord was going to remove them people out of that land, and all that land was going to be our land. So since we hard-headed and want to hang with them and keep their altars there and sacrifice to their God, the Lord said, I'm not going to even drive these people out. I'm going to allow them to stay there. But they shall be as thorns in your side, and their God shall be a snare unto you. So since y'all want to worship their God and hang with them people, I'm going to make these people a thorn in your sides, and their gods shall be a snare unto you. That's right now. That's why, like for example, the Caucasians is a thorn in our side, man, to this day. And we finding out why. And that's why their gods is a snare unto us. That's why we trying to tell somebody that their God ain't our God. Sunday worship ain't nowhere in the Bible, but it's a snare. They can't understand. Let's go back from way back then, y'all. We reading Judges. Verse 4. And it came to pass, when the angel of the Lord spake these words unto all the children of Israel, that the people lifted up their voice and wept. So they started crying, man. And to this day, we having the same problem. We got to tear down their altars, so to speak. You don't have to literally, to this day, just go over kicking over crosses but y'all let it go. It's pretty much what he said. So we're going to go to Judges chapter 17, 1 through 6. It says, stealing from mama and creating false gods. So this is crazy, y'all. Judges chapter 17, 1 through 6. Verse 1. Everybody good? And there was a man of Mount Ephraim, which name was Micah. Ephraim is one of the tribes of Israel, the northern tribe. So Ephraim had their land. They got their land, they divided it up. So there was a man of an Ephraimite. His name was Micah. And he said unto his mother, the 1,100 shekels of silver that were taken from thee, about which thou cursest, and speaketh also in my ears. So she had 1,100 shekels of silver, which is basically money. He said, behold, the silver is with me. I took it. So he talking to his mama. His mama was missing 1,100 shekels of silver. He told her, I took it. Meaning he stole from his mama. And his mother said, blessed be thou of the Lord, my son. So she like, bless the Lord, you stole my money. Mine ain't right. Nowhere in the Bible does it say that. It say, honor thy mother and thy father. You don't steal from your mother and your father. Verse 3. Let me see how far down. 5 through 6. And when he had restored the 1,100 shekels of silver to his mother said, I had wholly dedicated the silver unto the Lord from my hand for my son. So she said she wanted to dedicate this money to the Lord, to make a graven image and a molten image. Y'all know we don't supposed to be making graven images. Didn't we get in trouble in Egypt for making a molten image, that cow? So she wanted to take this silver and make a graven and molten image out of it. Now therefore I will restore it unto thee. So she said that he gave her the money back. She said, here, take the money and make a graven image with it. This is his mother. So yeah, he restored the money unto his mother, and his mother took 200 shekels of silver and gave them to the founder, who made thereof a graven image and a molten image. And they were in the house of Micah. So they made this image that she quote unquote said was dedicated to God, and left it into the house of Micah. To this day, some of our people got graven images in their house that's supposed to be quote unquote holy. Baby Jesus, a white Jesus in their house, the whole the birth of Jesus, even the cross, even the You know, the little statues of white Jesus they be having in their house. That's a graven image. Somebody graving means somebody had to carve that image. They got some people in different countries, they have like whole little rooms full of little images and they light candles.
The first page of the Virgin Mary.
Good call.
Go on. Oh, and
That's a graven image. That's a graven image. That's a graven image. What did the Bible do and say make these little statues? That ain't how the Lord look anyway. We not supposed to be making it. We just keep the commandments. And in no way in the commandments it say do any of this stuff. So verse 5. So they kept the image in Micah's house, of Micah. And the man Micah had a house of gods, meaning he had plural little graven images in his house. So he put it that one with the rest of it. And he made an ephod. Let's click on ephod. A high priest shoulder piece. Basically the little thing that the priests wear over them, the Levites wear. And a teraphim. Teraphim, I clicked on, it said idols, images. And consecrated one of his sons, who became his priest. So he made one of his sons a priest, and they got a house full of false graven images in them. We're going to read why they was doing that. Verse 6, this is the last verse. In those days, there were no king in Israel, but every man did which was right in their own eyes. So they didn't have a leader, quote unquote, for to say, showing right from wrong. So they were just doing whatever they think right in their own eyes. Don't we do that today? That's why Sunday worship is. Every man, that's why we got so many people doing so many things, different things, but everybody claiming they know God. Instead of just opening the book. He said it's all written in the book of the law. He said you don't have to go way up here in the sky to find it. You ain't got to go in the earth to find it. Just open the book and you're going to find what to do, right and wrong. These are our forefathers. That's why we doing what we do.
So we don't have a king for Israel right now, just Jesus?
Christ is the king. Christ is our king. But we're going to read in these days, we had like representatives of Christ. A Messiah means savior. We had saviors. Meaning every time we messed up and we would go into slavery, we'll have a real good leader to come back, fight the other nations, and free us from slavery. We would go into slavery for 8 years, 10 years, 15 years. But this last time, God said, y'all going 400 years, and Christ going to have to come back and say, I'm tired of y'all crying and hollering my name, but then as soon as I free y'all go right back to doing whatever y'all want to do. So we're going to be at Judges chapter 18, 17 through 20. We just read 17, we're going to read chapter 18. And the 5 men, these are Israelite men, went out to spy out the land and went up and came in thither. So 5 men, they had a land that they wanted to spy to see how good it was, because they planned on taking over this land. It's all in Israel, but they like I said, they had people there. So they ain't just come out the blue. They sent 5 people to go spy, give a report, see if we can take the land, and then we'll come back as a whole and go to war with it. So they sent 5 Israelite men to spy the land. They went up, they came there, and they took the graven image and the ephod and the teraphim, and the molten image. And the priest stood in the entering of the gate with 600 men that were appointed with weapons of war. So before they went up there, they took what with them? That graven image, that ephod, the little idols, the molten image. They took all them gods with them like they got power or something. And they took the priest. if you a real priest, what he should have said? Man, hey, before we look, we gonna get our butt kicked walking around with these idols, break these idols, and then let's go up there. That let you know the priest ain't no good either. How you a priest, but we got idols all with us, man? Let me see what I'm supposed to be reading. 17 through 20, verse 18. And these went into Micah's house. Y'all remember we just read Micah mama gave Micah the one that got the images for his mama. So these people went in Micah's house and fetched the carved image, the ephod, and the teraphim, and the molten image. So they came with their own false god stuff, and then they went into Micah's house to get the stuff he got. Then said the priest unto them, what do ye? And they said unto him, hold thy peace, lay thy hand upon thy mouth. So excuse me, the priest is like, what are you doing? But the people said, hold your peace, meaning be quiet, lay thy hand upon thy mouth, same thing, and go with us. Because remember that priest was staying in Micah's house. So they was like, hey, come with us and be to us a father and a priest. It is better for thee to be a priest unto the house of one man, or that it be a priest unto a tribe and a family in Israel. So they're like, man, you're a priest. Why you just staying with this man? You can come with us and be a priest to the whole tribe that's trying to move up to this land. And the priest's heart was glad. And he took the ephod and the teraphim and the graven image and went in the midst of the people. So 27 through 31. And they took the things which Micah had made, and the priest which he had, and came unto Laish. That's the land that they went to spy. Unto a people that were quiet and secure. So they went to the land, they see it was a city where people were quiet and secure, meaning ain't no violence over there. They ain't ready for a pack of people ready to go to war, pretty much. So they smote them with the edge of their sword and burnt the city with fire. So they killed the inhabitants of that land, then they burnt the city with fire. Let's read the 31. And there was no deliverer, because it was far from Zidon. So these people had other people that they was kin to, but the city was far off. So that they couldn't have nobody come join the battle to help them. And they had no business with any man. So they was like in a secluded area. They had no business with other people. And it was in the valley that lieth in Bethlehem. So they built the city and dwelled therein. So they killed these people, they built a city there. And they called the name of the city Dan. Fix him some water, please. Fix him some water. So they called the city Dan.
You want one?
No, good. They probably gonna be in a while. Y'all see what Dan is on the map, right? So these people, they were Ephraimites. They came all the way up from the bottom of Ephraim. They made it all the way up where you see Dan there. But Dan wasn't called Dan there. After they killed all them people, that's when they called the city Dan. So 29 says, and they called the name of the city Dan, and after the name of Dan, their father, who was born unto Israel. See, one of the 12 tribes of Israel is Dan. Howbeit, the name of the city was Laish at the first. And the children of Dan set up the graven image. So y'all remember they had them images with them, right? So the first thing they did after they took over the land, they put up their false gods in the land, y'all. And Jonathan, the son of Gershom, the son of Manasseh, he and his sons were priests to the tribe of Dan unto this day of the captivity of the land. 31. And they set up Micah's graven image, which he had made all the time that the house of Dan was in Shiloh. So they starting off on the wrong foot, y'all. They killed these people, the Lord gave them this land, and they set up these graven images in the land, man. Starting off on the wrong foot. Just got in the land. 19, 1 through 2. And it came to pass in those days there was no king in Israel, that there were certain Levites sojourning on the side of Mount Ephraim, who took him a concubine out of Bethlehem, Judah. So Bethlehem, which is in Judea, was called Bethlehem, Judah at the time. So remember, the key is there was no king in Israel, meaning every man was just doing whatever. This man took a concubine out of this land. And this concubine, and he's a Levite. Y'all know the Levite, they was the religious priests of our people. They were like our preachers, the people that's supposed to be making sure we do the laws.
And now they're the nations, right?
Exactly. And his concubine played the whore against him. So this woman was sleeping around. She was promiscuous. And went away from him unto her father's house to Bethlehem, Judah. And was there 4 whole months. So she's sleeping around, went to a whole nother city, stayed with her father's side of the family for 4 months. And her husband arose and went after her to speak friendly unto her, to bring her here again. So he's trying to bring his wife back home, having his servant with him and a couple of asses. And she brought him into her father's house. And when the father of the damsel saw him, he rejoiced to meet him. He trying to be a good man, bring his wife home. But she playing a whore against him. We're going to read 4. Excuse me. I'm supposed to read. No, we ain't got to read this part. So a couple of days went by. His father-in-law basically telling him, stay another night, stay another night. He kept staying another night. But verse 10, he's like, hey, but the man would not tarry that night. He like, father-in-law, thank you, but I gotta go. But he rose up and departed and came over against Jebus, which is in Jerusalem. So they left Bethlehem, Judah, and went to Jebus. And they were with him 2 asses saddled, meaning 2 donkeys. His concubine, his wife, also was with him.
What's a concubine?
A lover. Isn't it?
A man lover? It said masculine.
A woman who lives with a man but has lower status than his wife or wife.
A mistress. Yeah.
Remember, the key is what? Every man did what?
What they thought.
Right was in their own eyes. So this man, a Levite, he ain't married. This is his ancient wife, but it's like a side piece. And they said she was playing the whore anyway. She's sleeping with other men. So they made it into this another city, cause they trying to make it home. Verse 11. And when they were in Jebus, the day was far spent. And the servant said unto his master, come, I pray thee, and let us turn into the city of the Jebusites and lodge in. So it's getting late. It's getting dark. He's like, hey, let's go into this city and stay there. And his master said unto him, well, we will not turn aside hither into the city of a stranger that is not of the children of Israel. So remember, he said, I'm not going to drive y'all out of this land. They're going to be a thorn to your side. So this man is like, we ain't going to go to no city where ain't no Israelites in. That's what that man wanted them to go. He said, we will pass over to Jabah. Because Jabah is where the Israelite brothers is at. And he said unto his servant, come, and let us draw near to one of the places to lodge all night, in Gabah or in Ramah, because those 2 cities had Israelites in. And they passed on and went their way, and the sun went down upon them when they were in Gabah, which belongeth to Benjamin. Y'all know who the Benjamins is? The Benjamites?
The Jamaicans?
The Jamaicans. So that's letting you know that the Jamaicans was living in Gabah or Ramah. This man is a Levite. Well, the Levite would be who? Haitians. And they turned aside thither to go into and lodge in Gabah. And when he went in, he sat down in the street of the city. For there was no man that took them into his house to lodge. Now y'all remember one of the commandments was, hey, open your door for your brother who traveled. And he said, don't vex a stranger. Meaning don't treat your fellow brothers wrong. If a stranger come into your house, you don't charge him more. You don't take advantage of him. You be kind to this brother that's just passing through. Verse 16. And behold, there came an old man from his work out of the field at even, which was also of Mount Ephraim. So another Ephraimite was in the city, and he sojourned in Gabah. But the men of the place were Benjamites. So they had an Ephraimite living in a Benjamite city. Well, he was in a Benjamite city. And when he had lifted up his eyes, he saw a wayfaring man in the street of the city. And the old man said, whither goest thou? And whence cometh thou? So he like, what are you doing in the street? Where you going and where you coming from? And he said unto them, we're passing from Bethlehem, Judah, towards the side of Ephraim. From thence I am. And I went to Bethlehem, Judah, but I am now going into the house of the Lord. There is no man that receiveth me the house. So like he told him where he was coming from, where he was going, but he was like, ain't nobody letting me in their house. So we just chilling in the street, waiting for the sun to come up so we can keep going on our way. 19. Yet there is both straw and provender for our asses, and there is bread and wine also for me, and for my handmaid, and for the young man which is with thy servants. There is no want of anything. He was like, man, we got straw and food for our donkeys. We got bread and wine for me and my handmaids and the people. He's like, I don't need no food or nothing like that. We just need somewhere to stay pretty much. And the old man said, peace be with thee. Howsoever, let all thy wants lie upon me. Only lodge not in the street. He like, man, come with me. Don't lodge in the street. Pretty much let him know, man, look. It's like you, what's in the rough neighborhoods where y'all from? North side of Corpus. Hey, I know you from out of town, but you don't want to be hanging out here all night. Come in the house with me. So he brought him in his house and gave provender unto the asses, and they washed their feet and did eat and drink. So this man is a good man, right? He doing exactly what the commandments say. 22. Now as they were making their hearts merry, meaning everything was good, behold, the men of the city, who the men of the city? The Benjamites, certain sons of Belial. I didn't even know what Belial is. Belial means evil, naughty, ungodly, wicked men. So certain wicked men beset the house round about and beat at the door. Y'all know how it is. Some fools showed up in the neighborhood, like it was a rough side of town. So they surrounded this man's house, beating on the door, and they spoke to the master of the house, the old man, saying, bring forth the man that came into thine house, that we may know him. Do y'all know what we may know him mean? Let's click on know. I got a Judges 19. Which one we read? 22. We're going to read the other versions because they're going to give you a modern day version. Yeah, don't spoil it. We talked about it. I know you know. I was highly upset when I read this. Bring him out the man in the house that came into your house so we may have sex with him. These are men.
What made you look that up?
If you read all through the Bible,
Every time they say no in the Bible,
it's related to sex. And such knew his wife, and they begot, and they started naming the sons and daughters. So let's read it again. Certain men of Belial, wicked men, beat at the door and spoke to the master, the old man, saying, remember he had a concubine with him. He had women with him, a woman with him. They say, bring forth the man that came into this house, that we may know him. And the man, the master of the house, went out unto them and said unto them, nay, no, my brethren, nay, I pray you, do not so wickedly. Seeing that this man is come into mine house, do not defile it. Wicked niggas, excuse my language. Behold, hold up, what I'm supposed to be reading soon? Behold, here is my daughter. This is the old man. Here is my daughter and his concubine. Them I will bring out now. Man, look, if y'all gonna rape anything around here, God, remember, they ain't have no king, right? Every man doing what's right and what? There ain't no way in the Bible do it say allow rape. Rape was good. Here's my daughter who's a maiden. What maiden mean? A young lady or a virgin. We don't know what's in this context. They don't give enough information. And his concubine. Them I will bring out now and humble ye them. Humble means not what we think it means. Defile. Weaken.
That was for humble?
Yeah. So in our mind, we'll think humble meaning humble. Nah, defile them. Humble is a form, it really means humiliate them. And do with them what seemed good unto you. But unto this man do no such vile thing. A pack of niggas around a house because an out of town man there.
They wanna.
Yes.
I would think you beat him up or something.
Oh no, they won't. It's all. This ain't the first time that happened. This happened in Sodom and Gomorrah, and the Lord destroyed that shit.
Do you mind on verse 23, the last word, clicking on folly?
Do not this folly, this wickedness. It's a crime. This is wrong, foolishness. Are you crazy? This man is a Levite. Y'all trying to rape a Levite? So, we got some wicked people, y'all.
And the Levites were the priests at the time.
Yeah. When we sin, that's who we used to have to bring the animals to sacrifice. So, 25. But the men were not hearkening to him. So the men took his concubine, remember the Levite had a concubine, and brought her forth unto them. And they knew her, and abused her all the night until the morning. Raped this lady from dusk to dawn, to dawn.
Stop.
It's going back there. Excuse me. So they raped her from night into the morning, and when the day began to spring, they let her go. So when sunlight came up, that's when they finally stopped. A pack of people, one lady. Then came the woman in the dawning of the day. So she trying to make it back to the house and fell down at the door of the man's house where where her Lord was, till it was light. So she couldn't make it in the house, she just made it to the door. And her Lord rose up in the morning and opened the doors of the house. So he didn't go out there to check on them. He just let them do whatever to his concubine. Opened the doors in the morning and went out to go his way. And behold, the woman, his concubine, was falling down at the door of the house, and her hands were upon the threshold. So he come out there, he open the door, and her hand like at the door, like just, that's all you see is a hand just trying to make it in the door. But she dead. And he said unto her, up, get up, let us be going. But none answered. Then the man took her upon the ass, on the donkey, and the man rose up and got him unto his place. So he took the dead body, put it on the donkey, and they just kept rolling. And when he come into his house, he took a knife and laid hold of his concubine and divided her together with her bones into 12 pieces. So he chopped his dead body into 12 pieces and sent her into all the coast of Israel. Chopped her into 12 pieces. How many tribes there is?
12.
This is the map. He cut the lady in 12 pieces and sent a piece to every part of Israel, pretty much.
And they were in Dan at this time, right?
Exactly. Well, they was in Bethlehem. Well, they was in Bethlehem, Judah. Well, hold up. Where's Bethlehem? Excuse me. I'm silly. It's called Beth Judah, so it's in Judah. Bethlehem was in Judah. So he sent her in all the coasts of Israel. And it was so that all that saw it, there was no such deed done nor seen from that day, that the children of Israel came up out of the land of Egypt unto this day. So they ain't never seen nothing like that in their life until this day. Consider it. Take advice. Speak your minds. So he brought all that out. He was like, consider what y'all seeing. Speak your mind. Tell me how you feel. Verse 20, huh? No, what we supposed to do? I'm going to tell you, oh, excuse me. Why does it say?
19, yeah.
Oh, Leviticus. Excuse me, I got to go to 19 to show y'all that, y'all, this is in the laws that we ain't supposed to be doing nothing like this. So Leviticus 19, 33 through 34.
Turn number twice.
It was important.
If a stranger sojourn with thee in your land, ye shall not vex him. Do violence, suppress, destroy him, oppress him. So them Benjamites was wicked, man. That was a stranger. He was sojourning in y'all land. Y'all vexed that man. 34, but the stranger that dwell with you shall be unto you as one born among you. Meaning, y'all gonna treat him like a fellow Benjamite. And thou shalt love him as thyself. For ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. So this is clearly against the laws of God. I wrote it twice in there by mistake. So we're going to find out what happened. He sent it to all them coasts for a reason. And he sent it to all them for a reason. Wicked people, y'all.
Where's it called? Judges?
It was in the beginning. I don't know what's wrong. So remember, we got kicked out the land, y'all. We got kicked out the Holy Land. And what are we doing here on this side? Still doing wickedness. We don't even realize we got kicked out for a reason and we still doing the stupid stuff on this side of the wall. So Judges 21 through 3. Then all the children of Israel went out, and the congregation was gathered together as one man. So all 12 tribes came out as in one man, meaning they came in solidarity to see what's going on. From Dan even into Beersheba, with the land of Gilead, unto the Lord in Mizpah. And the chief of all the people, meaning the leaders of all the tribes, even all the tribes of Israel, presented themselves in the assembly of the people of God. 400,000 footmen that drove the sword. So they had 400,000 warriors to come over here. Why we got a dead Israelite woman being chopped up? They ready to go to war with us. Now the children of Benjamin heard that the children of Israel were going unto Mizpah. The children of Benjamin was what?
Jamaicans.
Right, but they was part of the ones that what?
The raped her.
Exactly. So they heard all these other Israelite brothers coming out here looking like they ready to kill something. Then said the children of Israel, tell us how was this wickedness? They like, what happened? And the Levite, the husband of the woman that was slain, answered and said, I came to give bad and that belonged to Benjamin, and I had my concubine in lodge. So we ain't got to read all this, but he telling them all what happened. We're going to see what they're going to do behind this. Oh, I ain't even got it on here. Make a long story short, all the other brothers rose up and went to war against the Benjamites. They first told the Benjamites, hey, bring out them wicked dudes that did that. The whole tribe of Benjamin said, no, we ain't bringing them out. So all they wanted to just kill the ones that raped the woman. But they protected them wicked fools. So the Lord, basically, the tribes of Israel had to go to war against their own wicked brothers. Do we supposed to be fighting our own brothers? Do we supposed to be raping our own people? You see how sin leads to sin leads to sin? Now I gotta kill you. Guess what? They got to whooping the Benjamites so bad, it was hardly a few Benjamites left. They ain't had no women left. Without no women, what happened to the tribe of Benjamin? They would die out. So we're going to read what's going to have to happen with the next verse. So we're going to go to 1 Samuel chapter 2, 12 through 17.
Like Stretch has a couple books.
They did.
It's pretty cool.
Excuse me. It ain't even on there. Damn, hold up. It gotta be. I know I ain't just skip all this. Yeah, I don't have the, basically, like I said, the women was about to be died off. So they had to, there was one family that didn't come out to help the Israelite brothers fight the Benjamites. So they said, we're going to go in there to the one family that didn't help us fight them. We're going to kill off all their men. And we're going to take their wives and their daughters and give them to the Benjamites so the Benjamites can live on. So now you got more sin on top of more sin. To keep the Benjamite tribe alive, they said, which family didn't come out and help us fight the Benjamites? So they went and killed the men of that tribe that didn't come out to fight. They took their wives and gave them to the Benjamites. Sin on top of sin, on top of sin, on top of sin. It's like a plague, y'all.
That's all of chapter 21.
Y'all read Judges, man, and what was crazy about it, if you would think in the Old Testament you reading about holy people. Like you reading that and be like, okay, this is the example we need to be. And read Judges, you gonna see some stuff you ain't never like, oh Lord, they'll put us to shame. And you know we watch the news and we see wickedness. Them boys is wicked. That's why we got kicked out the land, y'all. So we're going to go to 1 Samuel chapter 2, 12 through 17. Y'all can read Judges on your own. It's going to trip y'all up. 1 Samuel chapter 2, 12 through 17. Now the sons of Eli was a prophet. A Levite priest. Let me click on it to see if it says it. High priest. He was a Levite. So the sons of Eli were sons of Bala. Do y'all remember what Bala mean again?
Wicked.
So the sons of a high priest were wicked. They knew not the Lord. And the priest's custom with the people was that when any man offered sacrifice, the priest servant came while the flesh was still in seething, with the flesh hook of 3 teeth in his hand, which is a fork. So they said while it's still seething, while it's still baking, still boiling, they would bring the fork in. And he struck it in the pan or a kettle or a cauldron or a pot. All that the flesh hook brought up, the priest took for himself. So while it's boiling and baking, the priest supposed to put a fork in there, and that will be the whatever it bring up, that'll be for the priest. Remember that Eli's sons is wicked. So they did in Shiloh and to all the Israelites that came there. That was supposed to be. And also before they burned the fat, meaning they supposed to burn the fat. But he said before they burned the fat, the priest servants came and said to the man that sacrificed, give flesh to roast for the priest. For he will not have sodden flesh, but of thee raw. So the priest wanted raw meat, raw flesh. We ain't supposed to be eating no raw flesh. We supposed to cook the roast the flesh. I'm supposed to read 16. And if any man said unto them, let them not fail to burn the fat presently, and then take as much as thy soul desire, then he would answer them, nay. So he said, no, but thou shalt give it me now. I don't want to wait till they burn the fat. He said, give it to me now. And he said, if not, I would take it by force. These are some wicked priests. They want their raw meat bad. Wherefore the sin of the young men were very great before the Lord. For the men abhorred the offering of the Lord. Abhor means hate, blaspheme. They did evil. They wanted raw meat. Somebody tell them, no, let it boil, let it bake first. They say, nah, we just going to take it. And the Levites are supposed to be the high religious leaders for the Lord. 22 through 31, same verse, same chapter. This is Eli, the high priest kid. So they the next in line pretty much. So now Eli is very old. And he heard all his sons did unto all Israel. And he heard all that his sons did unto all Israel. How they would lay with the women that assembled at the door of the tabernacles of the congregation. So these sons of a high priest was laying. What y'all think laying with the women mean?
No.
Yeah. That assembled at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Ain't that going on in some churches today?
Mm-hmm.
High priests, quote unquote, preachers, knowing women all in the church. I grew up in a church where they got kid. I ain't gonna put nobody's name on there. My mama probably watching. We got 2 viewers. The preacher's son, I'm cool with. The preacher's mistress still in the church. Her child, we all the same age, all grew up together. All of them in the church. They laying with the women in the congregation. And his wife in there every Sunday, and the mistress in there every Sunday. Ain't nobody saying nothing. And the kids. The high priest is knowing the women that laying with the women in the congregation. And Eli gonna come to his sons and he said unto them, why do ye such things? For I hear of your evil dealings by all these people. Son, what are y'all doing? Y'all the high priest, you're eating meat that ain't even boiled. You're sleeping with the women in the congregation. This ain't even in Judges no more. Nay, my son, no, my sons, for it is not good report that I hear. Ye make the Lord's people to transgress. You're supposed to be leading them the right way. You leading these people to do evil. What the heck is going on, man? I'm mad, y'all. We gotta stop this. That ain't just going on where I stay. That's going on everywhere. Well, I'm supposed to be to 31. Yep. If one man sin against another, the judge shall judge him. But if a man sin against the Lord, who shall entreat for him? Meaning, man, look, a man can pay another man back for doing wrong. But if you sin against the Lord, who's going to entreat for you? Meaning, it's over for you, man. Notwithstanding their heart, so they didn't understand. They hearkened not unto the voice of their father, because the Lord would slay them. So the Lord's going to slay them because of that. So remember, we're reading about Samuel. Samuel was a Nazarite. Y'all remember what a Nazarite was, right? when they never cut their hair. They didn't drink no wine. They had dreads. So Samuel was a little child. His mother couldn't have no children. His mother prayed unto the Lord, if you give me a child, I give you this child forever. I'll make him a Nazarite. So the Lord answered her prayers. She brought that Samuel as a baby into the house of the Lord. The Lord blessed her with more kids. With that first child, Samuel, she gave him over to the Lord. So 26, the child Samuel grew on and was in favor both with the Lord and also with men. So the people respected Samuel. We're going to find out why.
What does that mean when she gave him to the Lord? Like when you dedicate your kids to the Lord, or?
Samuel was from the tribe of Levi. She was like, Lord, because she couldn't have no kids. And her husband had concubines and other little side wives, and they had kids. So she got tired of them teasing her and messing with her. So she said, Lord, if you give me a child, I'm going to give him over to you. We were staying in Jerusalem then. When she had that child, she brought this child to the Levites. It was like, raise this child right. That child wouldn't even come back home. He had to do the sacrifices, the prayers, all of that. So the Lord blessed her to have more kids in the house. But that firstborn, she literally brought him to Jerusalem, and he became a priest at a child's age. He was a real holy man. So they say that the child Samuel grew on, meaning he got bigger, he got older, and he was in favor with both the Lord and with men. How do you get in favor with the Lord? You obeyed his commandments. He wasn't like those Eli's children, right? He wasn't sleeping with the people. He did exactly what thus say the Lord. And the men respect you for that. They know a wicked man when they see one, and they respect a good man. 27. And there came a man of God unto Eli, and said unto them, Thus saith the Lord, Did I plainly appear unto the house of thy father? The house of thy father is the Levites. When they were in Egypt in Pharaoh's house? And did I choose him? Didn't I choose the Levites out of all the tribes of Israel to be my priests, to offer upon my altar, to burn incense, to wear an ephod? We've learned out an ephod was that shield that they had to wear before me. And did I give unto the house of thy father, the Levites, all the offerings made by fire of the children of Israel? So the Levites ain't have no land. If y'all look on the map, where the map is? Show me where y'all see the words Levite. The Levites were in Jerusalem, and in every little city, they was in those cities as well. They didn't have their own land, so to speak. They was it's like you need a preacher in every city, right? In every town. So they was like they were sacrificing in each and every city. So the Lord just let them know. I chose y'all out of the rest of the tribe. Y'all supposed to be my special holy people. So who the Levites is today? The Haitians were supposed to be, that's why they do all that animal sacrifice. They ain't supposed to be doing no more, but that's where they get it from. Wherefore kick ye at my sacrifice. Y'all know it's like a child kick, right? You tell them to do something. Say, why y'all kicking at my sacrifice? And mine offering, which I commanded in my habitation, and honorest thy sons above me. So he asked them, why you honoring your sons above me? Why he saying Eli is honoring his sons above me?
Because he hasn't put him in check.
He's supposed to check that. You a high priest and you know your two sons is sleeping with the women and eating raw flesh and like, you crazy. Check them boys. Why you honor thy son above me to make yourself fat with the chiefest of all the offerings of Israel, my people? Therefore the Lord God of Israel said, I shall indeed that thy house, meaning your family, and your fathers, your house is the Levites, and the house of thy father shall walk before me forever. I told y'all gonna be my Levites, my special people forever. But now the Lord say, be it far from me. For them that honor me, I will honor them. So it ain't no more Levites gonna be my special people before me. Now we seeing how the Levites fell out. He said, I'm going to honor, for them that honor me, the ones that keep the Lord, I will honor. I will make them my priests, my teachers of the law. So anybody of the 12 tribes right now can they thus say the Lord. But back in them days, you had to be a Levite. And they that despise me shall be lightly esteemed. Behold means it's a prophecy. One day this is going to happen. Behold, the days come that I will cut off thine arm and the arm of thy father's house. The word arm don't mean literal arm. The power, the strength, the might. Excuse me. So I'm going to cut off the power of your arms, meaning your family, your father's house, the Levites, and they shall be not an old man in thine house. Meaning I'm going to wipe it's not all the Levites, but your particular family, I'm going to wipe them all out. There ain't going to be no old man left in your house. So Eli's sons got killed, and every other man that was in his direct lineage got killed off. But they were supposed to be a holy people, y'all. So we seeing how we were sinning in the land. Trying to rape people, have sex with women. That in the Lord's congregation is crazy. So, and remember, he's saying that he's going to cut off the Levites from doing what they're supposed to do. So we're going to go to 1 Samuel chapter 8, 1 through 9. Let's speed it up a little bit. And it came to pass when Samuel was old. Remember, Samuel was a little boy, the Nazarite, that he made his sons judges over Israel. So Samuel getting old, he getting his sons to take over. Now the name of the firstborn was Joel, and the name of the second was Abiah. They were judges in Beersheba. And his sons walked not in his ways. Who did that sound like? Whose sons didn't walk in their father's way? Eli's son. So now Samuel got a wicked son. So his sons ain't walking his ways, but turned aside after lucre. Y'all know what lucre means? Gain, profit. So they were supposed to be righteous people, judging right and wrong, huh? But they took bribes. Excuse me, it said right there. And they took bribes and perverted judgment. Meaning, hey, I'm going to let you slide if you lace me up, right? You put something in this collection plate, I'm going to let you slide. So y'all, don't we have this problem this day? Ain't no righteous judgment. People showing favoritism to this day. Still going on, y'all. We getting kicked out. You see how much wicked stuff we was doing in the Holy Land, y'all. And these are supposed to be righteous people. Your daddy Samuel, man. How could you do such a thing? Supposed to be read to yeah, 1 through 9. Then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together and came to Samuel unto Ramah, and said unto him, Behold, thou art old, and thy sons walk not in thy ways. So the people complained. They said, man, your son, because the son will be next in line. They like, man, your sons ain't walking in your ways, Samuel. Now make us a king to judge us, like all the nations. So remember he said the nation's going to be a thorn in your side? Them nations had kings. We didn't have no king. Who was our king during that time? God, the Most High. So they said, we want a man to worship, like the other nations. We read in the beginning, don't do what the other nations do. 6, but this thing displeased Samuel when they said, give us a king to judge us. And Samuel prayed unto the Lord. He mad. He gonna tell the Lord what the people said. And the Lord said unto Samuel, hearken unto the voice of the people, and all that they say unto you, unto thee. For they have not rejected thee, Samuel, but they have rejected me, that that I should not reign over them. They don't want to do what I say do. Remember we say you ain't got to go up in the sky or you ain't got to go below. Just open the book of the law, right? No, we don't want the book of the law. Give us a man to worship, to lead us. So he say, don't have no hard feelings, Samuel. It ain't nothing against you. He say they don't want to obey me. So verse 8, according to all the works which they have done since the day that I brought them out of Egypt, even unto this day, wherewith they have forsaken me and served other gods. Remember they made gods in Dan and set them up. So did they also unto thee. Now therefore hearken unto their voice. Howbeit ye protest solemnly unto them. So you let them know. You hearken to their voice, but you let them know this. And show them the manner of the king that they shall reign over them. So listen to them, but let them know what kind of king they going to have. If y'all read down all these verses, it's going to tell you, man. The king ain't going to, it ain't going to be nothing nice. It's just how the president is today. We want Obama. Y'all got Obama, ain't what nothing like what y'all thought it was going to be. We want Trump. We want Hillary. We want George Bush. We want Clinton. Ain't none of them people did nothing for y'all, but they fattened, they took the best of all what y'all got. But y'all had the most high God. I read this to my auntie. She was Obama back then. I said, look, man, we got the Lord. She worrying about Obama for. I was reading this verse. She said, now tell me what that mean to you. Like, I didn't know what the verses mean. She like, in your own words. I'm talking about my auntie Linda. Now tell me in your own words what that means. Anyway. You think I'm just pulling these verses for no reason? She think I don't understand what it means. Like I'm stupid. I told her, I told her what it means. I ain't getting no response out of that. So it says the Levite's job. We're going to find out what the Levite's job was. I think I put it out of order. I should have read this before because we see Samuel and Eli's son was wicked. They was Levites. Deuteronomy 18, 1 through 3. Some wicked people, y'all. 1. The priests and Levites and all the tribe of Levi shall have no part, no inheritance with Israel. We saw the land. They didn't have no land in Israel. They shall eat the offerings of the Lord made by fire and his inheritance. They didn't want to wait till it's made by fire. They want to eat it raw. Therefore shall they have no inheritance among their brethren. The Lord is their inheritance. So that's why they ain't got no land. The Lord is their inheritance. As he hath said unto them. Supposed to be read 3. Yep. And this shall be the priest's due from the people, from them that offer a sacrifice, whether it be ox or sheep, and they shall give it unto the priest, the shoulder, and the 2 cheeks, and the mouth. So when they had the sacrifice of food, they ate the shoulder. The shoulder is the animal's arm. It's like like a chicken wing. Not a wing, but the chicken. The leg and the thigh part, and the cheeks and the mouth. It's the first tongue. I don't know. But y'all can see that they would eat that food that the people would sacrifice, the animal. And they ain't have no land. The Lord was their inheritance. So 1 Samuel 9 through 21. Remember he said that he ain't gonna let the Levites be their special people no more. He said he gonna let whoever that do what's right gonna be the take the Levi spot. So 1 Samuel 9 through 21. Huh?
It's just one verse. 9 and 20.
Excuse me, chapter 9, verse 21. Saul, quote unquote, the first king of Israel. And Saul answered and said, This is Samuel, picking Saul to be the king. Because remember they said they wanted a king, right? They wanted a leader. And Saul answered and said, am I not a Benjamite? Who is one of the Benjamites? The Jamaican. He said, I'm a Benjamite of the smallest of the tribes of Israel. So they're letting you know how many out of all the tribes, Benjamites were the smallest. And my family the least of all the families of the tribe of Benjamin. So Saul came from a small tribe, Benjamin, and his family was the least out of the Benjamites. Therefore thou speakest, wherefore thou then speakest thou so to me? Why you picking me? Remember, Jesus was from the Nazarites and all. They wasn't a big city out of them. The Nazarite ain't too many people not drinking wine and being that holy.
If you got down on 24th and cutting the shoulder.
That's what I meant when I was saying the shoulder. And the cook took up the shoulder that was upon it. Think we supposed to be reading it?
No, but I just happened to read it.
Yeah. And said it before Saul. So basically this is when they wanted a king. They chose Saul out of all the kings. Out of all the people. 1 Samuel 13, 9 through 14. Guess what? It says Saul disobeyed God's command. Come on, y'all. Can we get real? Like, we got some wicked people, y'all. First king, he disobeyed God's command. Chapter 13, 9 through 14. First of all, I take it back. The Levites still was doing the burnt offerings at the time. So Saul, verse 9, Saul said, bring hither a burnt offering to me and peace offerings. The Levites supposed to be doing the offerings. Saul from the tribe of Benjamin said, bring a burnt offering to me and a peace offering. And he offered the burnt offering. He ain't supposed to be doing that. He's supposed to be a king. He's supposed to be leading the people, but we still had Levites that's supposed to be doing their job. And he wanted to do the offering. If we read before that, he called some priests to come to the land, but the priests didn't come, quote unquote, in his time. Enough time. Verse 10, and it came to pass, as soon as he made the end of the offering, the burnt offering, behold, Samuel came. Samuel's an actual Levite. And Saul went out to meet him, and that he might salute him. And Samuel said, what hast thou done? What are you doing? And Saul said, because I saw that the people were scattered from me, meaning they going to war, the people scattered from them, they making them run, and that thou camest not within the days appointed. I was looking for you to do a sacrifice for us, but you didn't come during the days appointed, that the Philistines gathered themselves together unto Mishma. The Philistines were the other nations they was going to war with. So he said, since you didn't come in time, therefore said I, the Philistines will come down now upon to Gilgal, and I have not made supplication unto the Lord. So I didn't make an offering yet. They coming to kill us or whatever. So he said, I forced myself therefore and offered a burnt offering. So he said, I just did the offering. I couldn't find you. We needed an offering, so I just did it myself. We be doing that to this day. The Bible say the seventh day. We gonna do it on the first day. It's right there in the book. They say Jesus was born on December the 25th. We gonna celebrate Jesus' birth. There ain't nowhere in the Bible where he commanded you to celebrate his birth. And then it ain't no commandment. It's a whole list of do's and don'ts in the Bible. Why you just gonna start making up your own stuff? So that's what Saul did, man. He gave her an excuse. So Samuel said unto Saul, thou hast done foolishly. Thou hast not kept the commandment of the Lord, thy God, which he commanded thee. For now would the Lord have established thy kingdom upon Israel forever. Meaning, man, you would have been a king. When you die, your son would have been a king. When he died, his son would have been the king. I would establish y'all kingdom upon Israel forever. Same thing with us. If we would have just did what the Lord said, dude, we'll still be in this land right now, ruling the world forever. We would have killed off all the people he told us to kill off in the beginning. We wouldn't even have to worry about none of these people. But we want to do what it was, no king, whatever right in our eyes. But now thy kingdom shall not continue. I'm supposed to be reading that? No, but y'all get it. He letting them know your kingdom ain't going to continue. Another king going to come pretty much. And he about to get jealous. That's what we about to read. So 1 Samuel chapter 15 and 11. It says rebellion is the sin of witchcraft. After Saul comes King David. David that slaughtered David and Goliath. So 1 Samuel 15 and 11. This is the Lord speaking. He said, it repenteth me that I have set up Saul to be king. For he have turned back from following me. He started off good. But he said, man, I should have never made this boy king. He turned back from following me and not have performed my commands. And it grieved Samuel. And he cried unto the Lord all night. So Samuel the prophet, man, he was sad about that. But hey, that's what the people wanted, right? He wanted it. So we're going to read 22 and 23 in the same book. And Samuel said, had the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord? You think the Lord care about these burning these animals up? Or do you think he care about obeying the voice of the Lord? That's what we need to worry about. You think he caring about y'all putting all these presents under the tree and Easter egg hunting when he just wants you to obey his voice? Meaning do what thus say the Lord in the Bible. So we can't be winging it, y'all. We can't with my heart, how I feel, or my mama, or my grandmama. And you don't give a damn about none of that. Obey the voice of the Lord. Open your Bible and see what's right and do that. Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice. He don't care about the blood of them chickens and goats, and if y'all doing all, he wants you to obey. Obey is better than sacrifice. And to hearken than the fat of the rams. Hearken is better than sacrifice. Obeying is better than that. That's what he's saying. For rebellion is a sin of witchcraft. We practice witchcraft by doing what we want to do. That's witchcraft in the eyes of the Lord. Rebellion. Rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. And stubbornness is iniquity and idolatry. You idol worshiping when you stubborn and doing whatever you want to do. You worshiping man. You worshiping yourself. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he has also rejected thee from being a king. That's how our leaders are to this day, man. They're not preaching nothing in the pulpit. We supposed to be preaching, thus say the Lord. We got 3 more verses, and then we're going to go over this little part right here. 1 Samuel chapter 18, 6 through 9. 1 Samuel chapter 18, 6 through 9. And it came to pass as they came. Remember, David is next in line. He the king. David, we skipping where he killed Goliath. Samuel made David king. No, we ain't even there yet. He just killed Goliath, and Saul made David a captain of his army. So it came to pass, as they came, when David was returned from the slaughter of the Philistine, that's Goliath, he was from the Philistine, that the women came out of all the cities of Israel. So back in those days when we went to war, the women came out to greet us. They came singing and dancing to meet King Saul. What is that called today? When the football team come out and win, who come out? Singing and dancing. These are original cheerleaders. So the women came out singing. Now we got men cheerleaders now. We got faggots coming out with the women cheering and saying, go cowboy, go, whatever, whatever. So we had women singing and dancing to meet King Saul with tabrets. Y'all know what tabrets is? Tambourines. With joy and with instruments of music. So the women coming out celebrating the war. Ain't no women in the midst of no battle. They were just coming out when we come back victorious. And the women answered one another as they played and said, these were the lyrics that they were saying. Saul hath slain his thousands, and David his 10,000. So Saul the king, right? Mm-hmm. But they saying David slaughtered 10,000. Saul only slaughtered 1,000. And Saul was very wroth. He was mad at that. He was jealous. And the saying displeased him. And he said, they have described unto David 10,000. And to me they have ascribed but thousands. And what can he have more but the kingdom? He like, what more he gonna get? He gonna get the kingdom in a few. Remember, Saul wasn't doing what was right. So the Lord is slowly taking it away from him. And the people know who better than him. They let them know. So 1 John 3 and 15.
So could that be that he's bringing Saul down and lifting David high because he's following the family?
Yeah. Samuel already told him that that y'all could have ruled forever. But now I'm gonna take it away from you. 1 John 3 and 15. Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer. And ye know that a murderer have eternal life. And ye know that no murderer have eternal life abiding in him. So if you hate your old brother Israelite, it's like you're a murderer, y'all. He hated David. All David did was kill Goliath and help us fight against our enemy. But if you keep reading down the line, he tried to kill David multiple times. David never tried to even fight him back. All David did was escape and keep moving. He respected his kingship, even though Saul was wicked. So we can't hate our own brother. You say that's just like a murder. Judges 21 through 20. Judges 21 and verse 25. Wicked people, y'all. And these are our leaders. We're not even reading the regular people. Judges 21. In those days there was no king in Israel. Every man did which was right in their own eyes. Every time a righteous leader would die, every man would do whatever right in their own eyes. And we already read every time we read that, it's pure madness, y'all. To this day. Because the king ain't really, he up there, but the king ain't over here making sure we do what's right. This man's supposed to be a leader. This man was out when the real leaders was out. When Malcolm died, when Martin died, who left? And what he doing? Ain't doing a dang thing, man. Chilling, kicking it with a lady be his grandkid. Look at this child. What is she doing? This is an Israelite sister. Somebody ain't raising this child. You think she just picked up that and started doing it? Somebody telling her to do all this wickedness. Every man doing what's right in their own eyes. You say train up a child the right way. They leading these kids to damnation, man. That's sad. So the last one, Judges 2, 11 through 14. I don't know why we didn't read this one. I'm all over the place. Judges 2, 11 through 14. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and they served Baalam. Remember Baal, the golden calf? That was in the wilderness. So they get back on this side, and they serving that again. And they forsook the Lord God of their fathers, which brought them out of the land of Egypt, and followed other gods, and other gods of the people that were around about them, and bowed themselves unto them, and provoked the Lord to anger. We provoking the Lord to anger. And what he do when he angry? He kick our butt, send us to slavery, give us diseases, bring all kind of stuff on us, man. And the other nations ain't dealing with none of that. We don't realize who we are. So we about to find out who we worship. They forsook the Lord and served Baal and Ashtaroth. And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel. And he delivered them into the hands of the spoiler and spoiled them. And he sold them into the hands of the enemies round about. So every time we start worshiping false gods, he sell us into the hands of the enemies. What that is? Slavery. We keep going back and forth into slavery. They was going back and forth into slavery. So they could not any longer stand before their enemies. That's why we can't stand before these white people, right? We stronger than them, we smarter than them, but the Lord ain't giving us the power to overcome these people. Chapter 9 through 46. Chapter 9, 46, one verse. I'm not reading y'all this to discourage y'all. I'm reading y'all this so y'all can understand why we're in the condition we in. This wrong, what didn't happen overnight. This is periodically. We're going back and forth, right, then wrong. God will raise up a righteous leader, then wrong. He'll die, then wrong will happen. Or the righteous leader might turn wrong on us. We're going right back into slavery. So 9 and 46. And when all the men of the tower of Shechem heard that, they entered into a hold of the house of the god Berith. We focusing on the house of the god Berith. Baal Berith is Lord Berith. Is it not working? Basically, I took a caption of this link right here. Baal means Lord. Baal Berith, we just read Berith, Lord Berith. We're going to go down. Baal Berith is the father of the Yule season and the Yule Christmas tree. The Xmas tree. The Christmas tree, now known common among us, was equally common in pagan Rome and pagan Egypt. In Egypt, there was a tree of the palm tree. In Rome, it was the fir tree. So that Christmas tree that you put in your house, we know that goes back into the worship of Baal, meaning the word Lord, Berith, Lord Berith. We do, and they saying what? The Christmas tree is something to do with Christ. You putting presents, you decking the tree with silver and gold. The tree represents Berith. You treating him like a god. You putting a star on his head like he a star, holy or a crown, whatever it's supposed to be. You put presents under the tree. This is supposed to be some kind of false god you're giving presents to. Then you say you're doing it on the birth of Christ. It ain't got nothing to do with the birth of Christ.
And it says pagan Messiah.
Where you see that at?
Where it says the palm tree denoting the pagan Messiah. Something like that.
This is in textbook, in history book. I got the proof.
Go back to the verse so we can see it. Go back to the Bible verse. What they said.
46. And when all the men of the tower of Shechem heard that, they entered into the hold of the house of the god Berith. So basically they was going in the war. You can see 44. All the people that were in the field slew them. So they running around killing people. So they got scared and they went to the house of their false god Berith for protection. Read 48. I got it. Amalek took an axe in his hand and cut down a bow from the trees and took it. Didn't we just say that they you cut down a tree and you put it in your house? So that they letting you know that it's dealing with trees and tree worship. This is another book, The Traditions of Eden and Proofs of the Historical Truth by Henry Shepherd. The origins of the Christmas tree. In Egypt, the tree was a palm tree. In Rome, it was a fir. The palm tree denoting the pagan Messiah as Baal Tamar. The fir referring to him as Baal Barith. All of this is in your Bible. How in the hell did we simply get this crossed over to a Christmas tree when the Bible letting you know what it's dealing with and history letting you know? You can study the false gods of Egypt. Remember we had that long list of gods? Now we learning how they worship them false gods. The fir tree became a symbol of the Babylonian false Messiah. This is a whole nother book.
So did this start in Egypt? It was up top, or Rome?
They said it was equally common in pagan Rome and pagan Egypt. Basically, Egypt came before Rome. The Romans just started studying the old ancient traditions of Egypt. Here in America, that's why you think we got all these, we studied Rome and Egypt. That's why when you look on the churches, watch this. These are on the top of churches. That wasn't on the top of y'all church growing up. That's going back to Rome, to pagan, the obelisk. Watch what they say what the obelisk go back to. Ancient Greece.
Ancient Egyptian.
The obelisk symbolizes the sun god Ra. Sunday worship. The sun pains to let the sun come in. Man, these churches are worshiping the sun god Ra. Do not what the heathens do. We ran, we got them out of Egypt. Remember, he said, when we get you to this land, don't do what you did when you was in that land, and don't do what these people doing in that land. If you start doing that, I'm gonna make these people a thorn in your side. So we got all this symbolism all in the churches. Don't nobody know what it means because ain't nobody doing no historical research. It says the obelisk symbolizes the sun god Ra. I guarantee you, well, I can't guarantee, but most churches got that on them.
And didn't that symbol represent something else?
A penis.
Yeah.
That's Ra, the sun god Ra penis. It's actually a gigantic tribute to the phallus penis. Sun god, meaning it represents a penis. On the top of the church, y'all. I hope y'all learned something today. May the Lord add a blessing to the reading of his word. Shalom.